What an exciting show we have for you. Yes, every Thursday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. is always exciting, always fun, always entertaining, because that's our goal, is to educate and entertain and enrich your lives. And we love doing that every Thursday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. right here on AM 1220 KHTS. Why don't you join us in the vault? We're not going to let you in the door. It's locked. But if you go to donandgino.com, DONANDGINO, click on the Listen and Chat Live, and voila, you get to enter right here in the vault, and you get to see Don, Gino, and of course, our very good-looking Mr. Elgin Walker in the house.
Hey.
Hey. Elgin, thank you for joining us again here, buddy.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
And we were talking a little bit about, and we're going to educate you a little bit with, Elgin is one of the most successful, absolutely one of the most successful real estate professionals in this town in multiple ways, not just in his sales, but what he gives back to our community, what he gives back to our industry. Most don't give back to our industry also. And you know it's a requirement that you give back. That's one of our requirements of all our guests. And Elgin, you fit that to a mold. I mean, when do you sleep, my man?
Lately, it hasn't seemed like much. But hey, I'll sleep a lot when I'm gone, right?
Yeah, that's it. You've
nice.
heard that before, huh,
Yeah.
Gino? That's my slogan. All right. Well, we can share it. It's okay.
That's right.
We'll get shirts made. I'm looking at, Elgin Walker with Keller Williams VIP Properties. This is the type of person that you want in your corner, because you want a true professional, somebody that puts in that extra effort and really knows his craft. And to become a speaker, a mentor, a trainer, and an author now, you have to know your craft. I'm sorry. And I've been fortunate enough, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but when I've been asked now, I've been asked to speak in a couple of events, and Gino's had to deal with this. You have to know your stuff.
Yes, absolutely.
You have to prepare like a mofo, because, like I said, Gino had to deal with it because I was nervous. I really cared. I wanted to add value to those 2,500 people that are paying to be at this event, or 1,000 people. It doesn't matter if it's 4.
Right.
I want them to get some value of going, why is that guy standing up there? Why am I listening to him? Please, he better have some value, or I'm going to throw tomatoes.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I got all these things. You're very sought after as a speaker. So good for you, buddy.
Thank you.
So Elgin, tell us a little bit. So where did the passion for speaking and helping and I'm going to say educating your peers, right? Because it's kind of a very interesting thing when you're trying to help your competitors,
right,
that are your peers, to be better competitors. I mean, that's a very interesting dynamic, right?
Right.
But the reality is there's plenty of business for all of us to go around, and ultimately you want to help people do a better job so that the consumer has a better experience and our industry is better overall. But tell us how that started and where that passion came from.
Well, what you just said actually is a big part of it. Now, when I first got into the business many years ago, too, there weren't some of the opportunities that there are now, and people weren't willing to really help. And I kind of got thrown into the fire, which was fine. I was able to make it and survive. But I always had said, even back then, that if I ever had an opportunity to help someone, I would help them. Number one is because
you wish you would have had that help.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I hear you. I mean, back in our day when we started, you got cards,
and I had a phone book.
Flyers, and here you go. I mean, there wasn't much for us back then. Not a lot of sales training.
No. I was after I got my license. My broker at that time, they gave me a phone book and told me to call. And I didn't have any money. There wasn't no flyers and postcards, and people weren't.
Oh yeah. We didn't do that.
Well, yeah, no. Yeah. Well, people weren't investing in you either.
We didn't have email.
If you have money, no. So
shut up,
so
Gino.
I called. I called from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. That's what I did every day.
That's what successful people did.
Yeah,
they made their calls.
9 a.m. to 9 p.m. And I didn't have any scripts. I didn't know that you should call around listings and solds. I just, whatever number, whatever street I fell on in the phone book is where I called.
Whew, that's hard work.
And I just called. I very, very rarely was there a day that I didn't make at least 100 calls.
That's awesome.
And so anyway, so my passion, though, came from the fact that I wanted to help other people. I always just said that when I got into the business, I would help anybody that wanted my help. Then as far as helping with the consumer, I just feel that the more educated the consumer is and the better that they can feel about our industry, that we can have a better quality experience and for the consumer and for the agent. It's I think that too many of us look at our business sometimes like it's like we're doing brain surgery. I mean, obviously, we're dealing with the largest investment that most people make, but
Good
we're not
point,
curing
right.
we're not curing cancer. So it just doesn't have to be an adversarial type of a situation. It can really be win-win, where everybody can actually achieve what their goals are. And I just think that that's a better way to go. I think it's a better way to do business. I think it's a better way to sleep at night. And I think that people will look at you better and look at our industry better if everyone were to put that type of their type of foot forward.
You're making me sleep better, that's for sure, just knowing you're out there, Elgin. If you just tuned in, we're here with Elgin Walker with Keller Williams VIP Properties. Now a speaker, mentor, coach, and author of a book, which we'll get more into. I want to go in depth on that.
Sure.
But I love that, Gino, that was a really great question, by the way, buddy. Asking about why you help others. I mean, it is nice to give back, isn't it? I mean, you now that you've been blessed with a great career,
Yes.
you've had some great mentors. You've sought them out, because I know you and Brandon Montemayor and a
Yes.
bunch of those guys. You guys are passionate about tracking down and becoming better at your craft, being better
Absolutely.
as a person and as a professional. I love that about you guys, because unfortunately in your industry, how often do you see that?
Not enough.
And that's why I think that's why they follow you around.
Hopefully so. Hopefully so and just to, I'd like to position myself a little bit different. How can I position myself and helping people, but it also positions me different from some of the other quote unquote competition. And I'm a firm believer that that there is no real competition. The only competition is yourself.
Yep.
It's kind of like running a race. If you're running a 100-yard dash, when you're running, you're not looking to the side while you're running. You're looking to the finish line.
Well,
You gotta
you have
focus
the
on
end goal. I mean, a lot of people think that we just look at commissions or sales in general, but really it's about, if you go out and help as many people as you can,
Absolutely.
you'll get what you desire, basically.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's the old saying. I mean, I love you've already separated yourself out from a lot of the. I'm a guru. Gino knows I'm like you. I chase down any information, read any book. In fact, I have yours.
Thank you.
And I chase down any information. I am a sponge, and I follow the speakers. Everybody else goes off and has drinks. Me, he knows. He has to. I carry him around, and he's all about it too. And we follow
Right.
the speakers around and learn from them.
Right.
And you have separated yourself. I love that you're an authenticity coach,
Yeah.
because I believe that our industry needs that more. I think our nation needs that more. It's not about sales anymore. It needs to be about relationships.
I agree.
All right, translate that for us, right? Because authenticity coach, you probably haven't heard that before. Not a lot of people gave you a business card and say they're an authenticity coach. So tell me about that.
And they probably weren't authentic about it.
Well, and you're right, and it's true. And when I began doing that, one of the biggest things was, I just think you have to be true. Being authentic means really coming from your heart. It means really coming and speaking from a place to where you're really using your two ears more than your one mouth. Meaning that whatever you are putting out in the universe, whatever you're putting out toward people, when you're talking to people in regards to what their circumstances and situations are, that you're really, really listening, and you're really trying to get to the heart of whatever their situation is, without judgment, without putting on your own beliefs.
Yeah, that's hard. It's really hard for most.
To really be authentic with someone, and hopefully to really care, about the people that you're dealing with. And if you are, I believe that comes across, and then it attracts other authentic people to you.
Which is what you want. I
Yes.
mean, think about it. I mean, you accomplishing the goal of really being sincere and passionate and helping others and building that kind of a relationship. Like you said, I love the fact that now it will attract others like them. So you get to work with more authentic people.
Correct.
Oh, bummer, huh?
All right.
Well,
So
it makes-
you're setting yourself up for great success for
hopefully
both
so.
sides. It's a win-win.
Yes.
Well, I was going to say that actually ties in with what you were talking about earlier, where it really does help, because if you're more authentic with the agent on the other side and about everybody's goals, everybody can win.
Right.
Everybody can get what they were looking to do.
Right.
And nobody has to be confrontational, I think you called it.
Right. Well, yeah, and because a negotiation does not have to be confrontational. You know, the goal of it is to get the buyers what they want, get the sellers what they want. Nobody gets all of what they want anyway. So why not bring everybody together so that they can achieve what their goal is? The buyer's goal is they want the home. The
Right.
seller's goal is they want to sell the home. So instead of getting in the way and making that whole process just unbearable and
Right.
excessive, why not make that such an easier process so that the people that are involved in the transaction also have a good experience in the transaction? I think that's as important as, you know, 'cause some people will say, well, you know what, nobody remembers afterward anyway. As long as they get
right.
into the property, they're there, they don't forget.
Mm.
No, I disagree with
I
that.
agree.
I
I'm
think
with
people
you.
are happy they got what they were looking for. But you wonder why they're not referring you out.
Right.
You know, you wonder why they're not inviting you to dinner. You know, that sort of thing.
You
And
didn't really build that real relationship. You just had a transaction.
yes,
Big difference.
exactly. And you think about it, if you are actually living and working in a community, your kids know each other. They're going to the same school. You're dealing with the same professors. You know, what do you want other kids to say to your kids about you?
No, that's a good point.
Wow, that's a
I like
unique
that.
way to look at that.
I don't want any of my children to have a legacy of I can't do anything because of my dad's name.
Oh, well, luckily we have Elgin Walker in the house today, and we're going to come back with an incredible book that he just wrote. I can't wait to dive into this, Elgin, called How to Keep a Positive Mindset with Challenges on the Table. And I don't care who you are out there, we've all dealt with challenges, and we deal with them every day. So stay tuned, because Elgin's going to help us with that, because look at him smiling. All right, we'll be right back on the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show.